There was also an outlier breaststroker that I was highly fascinated with, especially towards the end of my own career. I am talking about Alexander Dale Oen, the Norwegian breaststroker who finished second after Kitajima 2008 in the Olympics, and he ended up winning 2011 at the World Championships quite impressively, and making him a favorite going into the 2012 championships in London. And this is where the story takes a little left turn, and there's my tone's going to change a little bit, guys. And the following piece here it's directly taken from Wikipedia. On April 30th, 2012, this is 3 months away from the Olympics, Dale Oen collapses in the shower at his training camp in Flagstaff, Arizona. Mind you, 160 or so miles away from where I live, 250 kilometers from where I am sitting right here. His teammates thought that he was spending a long time taking a shower. They knocked on the door, they flickered the light, and it was no response. Then they broke in the door, and the team doctor began administering CPR until the ambulance arrived and transferred Dale Oen to the hospital, and was pronounced dead on arrival at the age of 26. An initial autopsy was inconclusive, but the second one revealed that Dale Oen suffered from severe atherosclerotic coronary artery disease, with the main arteries essentially feeding his heart had built up a lot of plaque. And in addition, his heart was enlarged, and he died from a heart attack. The autopsy also had revealed that he had suffered from a series of small heart attacks months prior to his death, which apparently went unrecognized. He had experienced some sort of pain. It was radiating down his arm and up into his shoulder and his face and his chest, but then it was attributed to being a shoulder injury and a pinched nerve that he's actually talking to the Swimming World Magazine TV about his little shoulder injury, which is crazy to think about. Just a few days after, he's gone. And the only conventional risk factors that Alexander had for heart disease was a slightly elevated cholesterol level and the fact that his grandfather had suddenly passed at the age of 42 of an unknown cause. His death reminded many of a death of a fellow athlete, Sergei Gringov, who died from similar disease 17 years earlier at the age of 28. At the Olympics 2012, and I think this is where it becomes a little bit more hopeful, Daniel Gyrta, that I mentioned in the beginning, he won the 200-meter breaststroke and offered a copy of his medal to Dale Oen's family in order to honor their friendship. Cameron Vanderberg, who you may know here from South Africa, ended up winning the 100-meter breaststroke with the world record, and he dedicated that swim to Dale Oen because they were close friends and great rivals. And at that level, when you are going 1 and 2 against each other, because Cameron Vanderberg finished second or third at the World Championships prior to this, it fuels the swimmers. It fuels each other to be better, to train harder, to find different solutions. And that's why I respect Caleb Dressel being so humble about breaking world records, but remembering and honoring people that have been there before him, such as Manadu when he broke the world record. I'm talking especially at the ISL in Vegas, the first championship final. And even amongst others, Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg at the time held a speech at the opening of Alexander Dale Oen Arena in 2014, naming him as perhaps one of the greatest athletes